Hey, this is Tony D. It's Friday night, 555. We're 5 minutes before 6 p.m. when your favorite DJ, yoga instructor, chef is going to come on and probably teach you things that you used to have to pay for. But in the meantime, if I only got you for 5 minutes, I want to cover charity. And tonight, I've got a special guest who's really charitable that's going to join us. But beforehand, I just want to say, no matter where you are, hey, what's going on, Marianne? Hey, it's going, everybody, Kristen. No matter where you are, if you're part of the 20 plus million that just got laid off, or if you're financially secure and all of your needs are met, or somewhere in between, I think this is one of the greatest times to witness the charitableness and the giving in America. So, hey, Walk with Sally joined. I got to see how I can get them to join us because that's my special guest. Hang on here. Let me see this. So if I hit this button, I can have our special guest join us. Okay, come on, Nick. How come I'm not getting you on here? Let's see here. Okay, we're going to try here. Anyone? So, alrighty. Well, there's my house. You got to see that. Thank you so much for liking the glasses. So I saw Nick from Walk with Sally jump up on the screen, but I didn't see how we can invite him. So in the meantime, as I said, I want to talk to everybody on a charity, on how we can give back. These are some crazy times, but just read the right side of the paper and to know that there's a lot of giving back going on. Okay, I'm going to invite Nick to, and he is going to be joining us on the bottom. And these are going to be, hey, Nick, how's it going, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Oh, I had a little technical snafu, but hey, who out there's a perfect guy at videos through Zoom, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram Live? It's crazy. What's going on, everyone? So we got Nick, the founder of Walk with Sally. It's a South Bay charity that came about when he lost his mother to cancer, and he recognized that there's a lot of children that have no one to turn to in these times, whether it's in the family or outside. He started a mentoring group before Hammett was born, and we've been joined at the community hip since the beginning. As a matter of fact, I really believe not just in Nick's cause, but him as an individual. And through his kindness and some other people in the community, I went from Ferraris and speedboats in my previous company to finally realizing the more I could give back, the better I would feel. And that's my personal story. And I can tell you, I'm sticking with it. But tonight, Nick and I, we want to talk about how you can be charitable no matter where you sit financially right now. Because the one thing I think all of us are realizing is we're getting our time back, a lot of time, and how we spend it is up to us. It's okay to have a little Netflix, but it's much better to give back any way that you can. So Nick, let's jump right in. Your charity, it mentors young children. It's an in-person, face-to-face mentorship since you started. Hey, what's going on, Jack from Silverback? Now you have to pivot. Obviously, there ain't no hugging going on, and you're probably not going into the homes of these children. How have you pivoted during this time?
Yeah, I mean, personally, thank you just for getting connected with you. I mean, it's so good to just be in communication with the supporters that we've had and the love, because right now we need it more than ever. We need to be, having that positive the idea that we're going to be able to make it through this.
Yeah.
Our business model, Tony, has been the one-on-one mentoring, but it's also been community. We're nothing if we're not community.
Yeah.
And you and I talked earlier today about the fact that really, though, embracing this virtual world is where we are diving headfirst into it. So how do you have a mentoring program if you can't be together physically?
Let's talk about that, Nick. Give everybody some tips. Maybe they have a charity. Maybe they're trying to support their charity from their home. Give me some basics. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think first you want to sit with your team and get creative. Get everybody into a room and start having the conversations. What are the roadblocks with the virtual and the digital? A lot of things that we didn't know about our families. We have to find out, do you have a computer? Do you have a laptop? We had to find out if they had Wi-Fi. We couldn't make assumptions. But we also got together as a team and said, hey, what can we do right now with our resources? And one of the first things that we came up with was teaching mentors how to be the best mentors online, how to be a virtual mentor.
Wow.
And so,
Great.
you know, we took a lot of our cues, Tony, from our partnership with LAUSD. We saw what the school district was doing to try and make sure that everybody had a class, access to class. So we got to dovetail on behind them, getting kids ready for being, you know, virtual.
Yeah.
And that was great. One of those happy moments.
Well, I got to tell you, that's great. You looked for some mentorship on your own for what you could do, because you're in no different position than the school systems. I mean, they're an in-person place, and now everyone's doing it at home. And I think everybody watching, you're in no different position than anyone else having to homeschool your children. Everybody's learning here. So, you know, with that, how have you kept in touch with your sponsors, you know, your donors? What have you done there?
Well, I think that one of the first things we needed to do right when we got into this was thank a lot of the people. We had just come off of our second biggest event of the year, which is our Friendship Bowl. And we really went out and said, right, we had to cancel that event. We were probably
I know. I was supposed to go.
You were supposed to be there.
And I love bowling. I'm from Cleveland.
Right. And I mean, who doesn't like a good day of bowling? And so the kids, you know, when we talk about community, that's an event where you get to see the kids live and in person.
Yeah.
And you've just spent 6 weeks helping to raise money for them. And so, you know, for me, it was a heartbreaker, but we went right into action with the virtual. We hit our goal. And we went straight out to the community and said, well, no, you're going through a tough time, but we have to thank you so much. We did over 800 personal handwritten cards, Tony.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That are all being sent out. Our team worked from home to get those thank yous out, those personal phone calls out, being able to also praise those top donors and award them and highlight them in a lot of our messaging about how we need them to continue to be our heroes. So I think first we thanked people. Now we're really wanting to sincerely just check in. We want to see how everyone's doing. We have no agenda other than to say, how is your business? What's going on? Stuff like you and I doing this. You know, Ryan Cora and I spent time together, who built out our events. How's he doing? You know, his whole business model is based around, you know, events.
A lot of people just joined us, Nick. And just to summarize, Nick and I were talking about charity. He runs one of the largest charitable organizations in South Bay to help children that have lost family member to cancer. Hammett and Walk with Sally have been joining the hip. And he was just talking about how his organization, which normally takes donations and wants support from all of us, has turned that around during this time and wrote 800 handwritten notes. They reached out to all of their sponsors and supporters and told them how much they meant to them. They've taken this downtime that has no travel and no physical connection and turned it to uptime. So I think there's some great lessons here, whether you're running a charity, whether you support a charity, whether you're working in an organization, or whether you're unemployed right now and you don't know what to do. What about writing some handwritten notes to everybody you love? How about long lost friends that you haven't talked to forever? To me, that's charity. Maybe that one note perks somebody up so much that it not just turns around their day, it turns them into a more charitable person.
Hey, Tracy, thank you. Walker Sally loves you.
Hey, Jimmy Schwartz. Jimmy Schwartz, thanks
you know
for all
what
the cash. My banker just got on, and he is awesome. What's up, Jimmy?
What I would say, too, is just in terms of your own personal life, that virtual aspect has really brought our mentors closer to our mentees in a different way. We've also seen our young leadership teams getting together for mixers where we didn't think it would be possible. We're seeing that people are available for meetings and advice and one-on-one conversations where I used to never be able to get them on the phone. So I think there's silver linings, Tony. We have to not be afraid to try something new and say, you know what, maybe I can get that call. I can get that meeting.
Yes. I mean, this is a time of transformation, Nick. And here's your organization that I know you guys aren't technologically driven. You're people driven. But you've had to adapt. You did a check-in on your families to see what technology they have. You embolden your mentors to use their phone or whatever more often instead of maybe once a week. I bet you they're checking in with people every day.
Well, and they're playing games and they're doing different things and they're conducting differently. This weekend on Saturday, if you go at Walk with Sally on Facebook, you're going to see an invite. It's for the public, but it used to be our Heart to Home Healing art program. We're bringing in an incredible artist who has done vision boards with us and done some other stuff. So we want you to bring your family members, bring your kids. We start with a meditation, Tony.
Yep.
We go into a little bit of relaxation and artistic kind of vibrations with yoga. And then we have about a 45-minute art healing with something you could do with your family. Everyone's invited, but this is another way we're pivoting. We're saying, we're not just going to have this for our family and our kids. I want other charities.
Yeah.
We joined with Ridgetone.
I love Ridgetone.
We joined with the Artist
Can we give
Collective.
them a shout out?
Shout out to Ridgetone.
Ridgetone, helping
in
people
Hawthorne.
that can't help themselves.
Yeah.
People in really bad straits. We're talking about abuse, everybody. And they are one of the oldest charities in the South Bay. And they rock. They rock.
Yep. And Artist Collective, which is an incredible group of artists in the South Bay from the Resin Gallery.
You know, I love art. Who loves Resin Gallery? Who likes the art shows? If you're across America, forget the name Resin. Think about the local gallery that you could support right now. I mean, artists right now are in a super creative state. And when they come out of this, they're going to need people to buy this art and support them. And I can tell you, I am one to do that. So please support your artists. Nick, I want to mention how people can be charitable. I got a great idea, and I did this today. I reached out to my service providers, hairstylists, I do Pilates, and I just said, how can I help you? Can I prepay 5 classes? Can I prepay for 5 haircuts? I was amazed I got that advice from Tim Farias right now, the 4-hour work week. And I've done it today. And the response mostly was, I'm okay. But just by offering it, people were connected. But 2 of my providers were like, please, that would really change my week and my month. So that's, to me, being charitable.
Yeah. And I think that charity can come in a lot of different forms. You and I talked earlier about what's some of the opportunities out there. Big Sunday is a favorite organization of mine that is a sort of a volunteer database that has projects throughout Los Angeles. They really are trying to tune in. Big Sunday, you can check them out. I've always worked with them. Their whole goal is to bring projects to volunteers. And so they're going to have an inside track on what are some of the restrictions at COVID-19. And the Volunteer Center here in Torrance, they've been doing some great postings on delivering food. So there's always going to be ways that you can help. For Walk with Sally, one of the things we're doing is we've increased the amount of people that have gone through mentor training, Tony. So every 2 weeks, we've advanced our training, whereas we would normally have 10 people in an office. We're averaging 6 to 7 people on a Zoom. And we've found that people just finally have the time to become mentors, and they get to learn the value of mentoring, and they get to be ready to go. So the second that the lights come back on, we're going to match them with a new friendship.
Wow. You just gave me the list of charities people can support. And for people that just jumped on, because I noticed we had a lot of people, we got Nick with Walk with Sally, Tony, the founder of Hammett. We're just discussing how everybody can be charitable with whatever they have, money, time, or emotional support. Nick just laid out 5 or 6 local organizations to support. Nick, is there a place they can find these afterwards? Would you go ahead and do a post on Walk with Sally with these recommendations again? Can I ask for that?
Oh, of course, Tony.
That'd be great.
Anything for you.
You know what? You're all right, Nick. So I got to tell you, not only does Nick's charity help children with cancer, he throws one heck of a great party. So every year in July, which always falls on my birthday, Walk with Sally throws a 1,000-person event. They raise the majority of their funding for the year. And I got to tell you, this was given to me 2 years ago. This was the beacon of light for 2018. And when they asked me to do that, honestly, I said no. You know, Midwestern ethic was, first of all, to be charitable is great, but to brag about it is not cool. And another woman, I'll give her a shout out, Suzanne Scherer. She basically said to me really quickly, Tony, by setting the example of being charitable, you're going to inspire other people. And I showed that today, a little hesitant. I don't want people to think it's about bravado, but I want you to know, don't be shy. Brag about what you're doing in this time. Help other people understand how good it feels to give back. Because that's the one thing we all discovered this past month is time. Time is all that we really have. Money's ephemeral. Income can evaporate. Physical relationships can create distance, but you can never create more time, nor do you lose time unless you choose to lose it. So by being charitable during this time, you can really feel good about what you've done when you come out the other side. And whatever that looks like, You know, I pinned a little thing on the bottom here from, you know, a friend of mine, Trish. She said, if you're a kid and you're grounded, you can write letters too. I loved pinning that because get your whole family involved. The children right now in households need to be shown there's a lot more they can do than Netflix or iPad. They can literally just take 15 minutes and be charitable. And Nick,
Yeah.
you've done that for these children that you've mentored have become mentors.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And they become
amazing.
young leaders. One of the things I love is teaching kids how to be philanthropic. So it gets in their blood early. It's crazy, but some of this is learned. They have to understand and get that emotional connection. And so introducing them to all sorts of things young is really huge. And our young leadership team, it's usually about 20% of our entire family force in Los Angeles. These young men and women have been in the program for at least 2 years, and they're part of our young leadership program. And the wonderful thing is to watch them have to give back hours and see what it's like to go out and be philanthropic, to ask people for help, to share their time other than on the Netflix or, you know, the Call of Duty. So
Which,
really,
hey, I'm the
right
parent
moment.
that did that. My son's 22. He still turned out great. It's not the end, but if I could go back 20 years, I think I would have modeled this behavior much better. And that's what I'm talking about. Just model it. You don't have to ask them. They'll see it. Kids notice what you're doing a lot more than what you're saying. So by being charitable.
I love that Ari said that she loved the kickoff parties. We put a lot of energy into those lead ups to
Ari in from Colorado for the kickoff party. Woo-hoo. Hey, by the way, Jack is on from Silverback Coffee. Shout out to Jack. We did an Instagram Live. 7 foot tall Rwandan saving the Silverback Gorillas, his home country here in LA. And we just dropped a collaboration, shameless plug, with his coffee and Hammond on Tuesday. Money goes to charity, donating. It's been really great. Jack, you are awesome. So
that's
good
awesome.
to join us.
And where is that? In Silver Lake or where?
He's got a coffee shop in Silver Lake, and he's got one in downtown Arts District, him and his wife. And again, a charitable organization that's doing good by doing good, which is amazing. And Ari got the coffee in Colorado. She said, smells amazing. So
I love Ari. God.
Yeah. Back to charity, Nick. I mean, we're going to bring this to a close, but what do you have to say to somebody that says, I don't have time to be charitable?
I think that it's one of those things where obviously it's a personal choice, and it's finding something. People donate their time for different reasons, but I would say to you, some people that didn't realize they were missing community, some people that are looking for like-minded people, somebody that maybe is looking for a new best friend. There's so many different reasons, not just because you're passionate about the charity that causes you into action. And so maybe just think about what that might look like for you individually as far as being able to be a part of something powerful. And of course, just being charitable, we need more people to stand up and say, we've got to make sure that in our case, no child goes through cancer alone, but there's so many great charities, and there's only a small percentage of people that are actually active inside of those charities. We need leaders. We need your brain. We need creativity. We need your brain. We need so many assets. We want to have, just like any other company, the best assets that we can to be successful.
Awesome. You know, Nick, thank you so much for covering all the ways people can be charitable. I know you're the leader of Walk with Sally, but Walk with Sally's success was bringing this community together. A lot of other charitable organizations support you, and you support them, and it's really the way it goes. And I'm proud to have been, you know, a company that's been there for you for so long, but really it hasn't been me. You know, it's really been our community that supported Hammett, which allowed me to give back to you. So it's a group effort. And across the country, if you're inspired by Walk with Sally, there's probably a local organization that has a similar cause, or they're looking for help from anywhere in the country. And again, digitally support. Please don't be afraid to reach out. Okay.
Well, and we're going to move to every city in the nation, in the country. As soon as we get through this, we're going to get back on track with our goal. San Francisco, Chicago, New York. Nothing like Walk with Sally mentoring children, making sure children don't go through cancer alone. And I'm telling you, that's what I'm committed to. So if you're living in some of those towns and you thought, I'd love to have Walk with Sally, hit us up on Facebook or on walkwithsally.org. Walkwithsally.org is a great way. Hey, Kristen, it's good to see you. Great talking to you this week. Kristen actually worked at ShareFest, and she worked at Cancer Support Community.
Chris, amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you so. The giver of time and energy. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jenna just popped in right below her. Jenna, thank you for putting together this live stream with Nick and I, for being at all of our events, for being a big part of the Hammett success and Walk with Sally's VIP booth. I know that we're probably hit or miss on what happens in July, Nick, but I hope we can throw that party.
The good news is I pushed it to August already before the event actually happened. So,
because we like to party.
Everyone. And I can't wait to come together with people. I think the one thing that Ryan and I talked about is how much I miss just hugging and being connected. And I know we're going to get there soon. So if you're having a bad day or a bad week, just remember, this too shall pass. There are silver linings for everyone.
Thank you, Nick. There are many silver linings in this. And I got to tell you, August 22nd, we're going to celebrate together. I'm going to get drunk.
Let's do it.
Everyone,
I was going to ask
pass
you,
along the love
today if this was going to be like a happy hour.
Oh, we should have. What the heck? No drinks? Oh, it's Friday. You and I work a little
Thank you
too hard
so much, Tony, for being a partner and a friend. I love you.
Nick, you're the best, man. I appreciate you're an angel. Thank you so much.
Thank
Everyone,
you.
Have a wonderful Friday night. Jump on some of ththose live streams with great DJs, orchestras, music, yoga, anything you want. It's all free. And then